Hey everyone, it's Friday, July 4th. Happy 4th of July and welcome to Scouting the League and your Inside the League Friday wrap. Before we get to Neil Stratton, make sure you go find him at Inside the League on X. InsideTheLeague.com is his website. It is the best source for everything, well, inside the league. Sign up for the full Friday wrap by going to X, finding the link on Neil's page and getting all the news and notes from the week, not just the highlights you will get today. Before you do that, though, make sure you're liking, subscribing, and sharing this podcast wherever you are listening. Apple Podcast, Spotify, or if it's on YouTube. Find our new home at ProFootballInsiders.com as well. Follow Pro Football Insiders at pro_FB_insiders. Yes, Scouting the League is now a daily podcast bringing you all you need to know from the world of football that is brought to you by Pro Football Insiders. So, Neil's Friday wrap has been around for a minute. If you have been in the game of football, you know Neil. You're probably already getting the email. But this Friday wrap, along with every Friday, will bring you the highlights of that newsletter. But make sure you get signed up. Neil will give you more insight to that. It is free of cost, of course. Make sure you go get signed up. I, of course, am Rodrik David at Right Step ADB is where you can find me. Make sure you go back, check our first week's episodes from every day of the week, whether it was Joe Caulfield in our long format on Wednesday or our insights into scouting that will be brought to you the rest of the week. Of course, Fridays will be Friday wrap days from Inside the League. Tons of great content, tons of great information from Neil. So with that, let's get to it. Happy 4th of July. Neil, hand it off to you.
Hey guys, Neil Stratton from Inside the League here to discuss today's Friday wrap for Friday, July 24th, 2025. What's more patriotic than the American Bowl? It's a new all-star game that's coming to the draft space January 22nd of 2026. It's going to look very familiar to those of you who've been to the Hula Bowl. It's being brought to you by Scott Phillips, who was the executive director of the Hula Bowl last year. He's got a lot of familiar faces that are coming back, as well as some new members of his team. This is going to be a fully staffed game. All the bells and whistles. It'll be very respectable. I am fully endorsing it. And we've got all the details in today's wrap. What about being an agent? We've got the agent exam. We're 2.5 weeks away from it. It's not easy being an agent. Passing the test is kind of the first mountain you've got to climb, but it's certainly not the last. In our blog today at Succeed in Football, we talk about the 2024 agent class and what they did in the 2025 draft. It's not easy getting a player on a roster, especially if you're independent. We talk about the difference between tryouts and UDFA deals and players are getting drafted and what it's like and how hard it is. And we don't mean to be discouraging, but we do like to try to be real and candid here at Inside the League. So that's what we're talking about. For the podcast, Scouting the League, this podcast that I co-host with former NFL scout Rodrik David, we talked to Joe Caulfield. If you have ever wanted to work in the industry, you better be persistent. And if Joe Caulfield is anything, he is very persistent. We talk about his time in Ireland on the lacrosse field. I guess they call it the field, not the pitch. We talk about his time in the medical profession, how it led to his first job in the NFL. We talk about his multiple stops, PFF, a number of schools, and ultimately his job right now where he's GM at the University of Wyoming. So exciting stuff, interesting stuff. He talks about what it takes to be in the game, the costs of it, the risks he's taken. I think you're going to find it really compelling. Check it out wherever you check out your podcast at Scouting the League or on the Scouting the League YouTube page. We also had this week in our Catching Up feature, George Foster, who's not only a former NFL lineman out of the University of Georgia, but also a former pro scout with the Los Angeles Rams. He talks about his time there, the importance of camaraderie and how much he enjoyed being part of the game and what he's doing now in our Catching Up feature for this week. Now, again, with the exam 2.5 weeks away, obviously we got a lot going on. In addition to all the goods and services that we normally offer, including our videos, our study guide, and our practice exams, we also have 2 events this week. Monday, we will have our July video Zoom session, $50 plus tax, and we'll cover not only drug policy, but benefits. Benefits were a big part of last year's exam. You'll want to check that out if you're taking the exam in about 17 days. Then on Thursday, we're going to have our pressure test. That's what we're calling our 20 question mini exam. We will post the questions, we'll allow people to take the test, and then after an hour, Ian Greengross, our salary cap expert, I guess you'd call it, our CBA guru, will work the problems on Zoom over the space of an hour. This is basically a chance to test yourself and see if you're on track to be able to complete this exam in 3 hours. We will have questions that are, of course, representative of what you'll see, and you'll have a chance to work them, and then you'll see Ian work them, or again, over the space of about an hour, maybe a little more than an hour. We do this, last year was our first time doing it. We do this because we think it's the best way to really have kind of an under fire, dry run for the exam with it being so close. I think we'll be under 2 weeks by the time we have that on Thursday. So look for that on Thursday. That'll be $65 plus tax. Again, our session on Monday will be 50 plus tax. All of that, plus Rick Saratella has briefs for us about what's going on in the game, and of course, lots of other good stuff. So make sure you check it out. It'll come out at 7:30 p.m. Eastern tonight, just like every Friday it has for the last 10 plus years. Lots of goodies there, lots of good stuff. If you're part of the game, if you're one of the insiders, you're going to want to check it out. Also, make sure you're following the Scouting the League podcast, which is becoming a daily phenomenon now. Rodrik is really working hard to make that happen. Guests from all over the place. We're talking football from an insider's perspective each week. And so look for that on a daily basis. Have a great 4th.